What if the most famous myth in human history wasn't a myth at all, but a deliberate cover-up spanning thousands of years? Plato's detailed accounts of Atlantis weren't fiction. They were meticulous historical records, inherited from Egyptian priests who preserved knowledge stretching back 9,000 years before his time. And right now, evidence is surfacing faster than the academic world can suppress it. Plato described Atlantis as an advanced island civilization with concentric rings of land and water, sophisticated technology, and spiritual wisdom, until a cataclysm sank it beneath the waves in a single day and night of destruction. The infamous Piri-Reis map from 1513 shows coastlines of Antarctica that weren't officially discovered until 300 years later, and depicts them without ice, exactly as they'd appear if mapped 12,000 years ago when the continent was last ice-free. How could ancient cartographers map lands that modern science claims were unknown and ice-covered in their time? The Eye of the Sahara in Mauritania, a massive geological formation with concentric rings, matches Plato's description of Atlantis perfectly, including its measurements, location relative to ancient Egypt, and geographical features. Identical megalithic building techniques appear simultaneously across continents that supposedly had no contact with each other. The Yonaguni Monument off Japan features underwater stone structures with perfect 90-degree angles, straight edges, and stairs. Yet mainstream archaeology insists these precision-cut formations are natural, despite master stonemasons saying otherwise. What if a global flood really did happen, not as divine punishment, but as the result of a catastrophic meltwater pulse at the end of the last ice age? Geological evidence confirms sea levels rose over 400 feet at the end of the last ice age, with catastrophic pulses that would have swallowed coastal civilizations overnight, exactly as described in flood myths from cultures worldwide. What would happen to our understanding of human history if we admitted that advanced civilizations existed before our recorded timeline? The Bimini Road in the Bahamas features perfectly cut stone blocks arranged in a straight path underwater, in the exact area where Edgar Cayce predicted Atlantean ruins would be found decades before their discovery. Ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs at Abydos depict what unmistakably appear to be helicopters, submarines, and aircraft, officially dismissed as palimpsests, despite the perfect symmetry and detail of these anomalous carvings. Modern engineers still cannot explain how ancient builders moved and placed stones weighing hundreds of tons with perfect precision. Why do elongated skulls from Peru contain DNA that geneticists admit does not match any known human or primate species? In 2001, researchers discovered massive geometric structures under 2,000 feet of water off Cuba's coast, at depths that would have been above water during the last ice age, exactly where Plato placed Atlantis. Ancient maps like the Piri-Reis, Orontius Phineus, and Buache maps show land masses that weren't officially discovered until centuries later, including accurate coastlines of Antarctica under its ice that modern science only confirmed with ground-penetrating radar. What if powerful institutions are actively suppressing evidence that would force a complete rewrite of human history? Scientific evidence now confirms a catastrophic comet impact occurred approximately 12,800 years ago, precisely when Plato's timeline places the destruction of Atlantis, causing massive tsunamis and triggering a sudden return to Ice Age conditions. Ancient civilizations possessed astronomical knowledge that required thousands of years of precise observation to acquire. The Antikythera mechanism, an ancient Greek analog computer found in a shipwreck, demonstrates technological sophistication that mainstream history claims wasn't possible until 1,500 years after its creation. Cultures separated by vast oceans share identical flood myths, astronomical knowledge, and creation stories, including specific details about a global civilization destroyed by water that sent survivors to rebuild around the world. What would you do if you discovered that everything you were taught about human history was deliberately incomplete? The Great Sphinx shows unmistakable signs of water erosion that could only have occurred between 10,000 to 5,000 BCE, when the region received heavy rainfall, at least 5,000 years before Egypt supposedly existed. Ancient Sanskrit texts describe atomic theory, quantum physics, and relativity with stunning accuracy, thousands of years before modern science. The Nazca Lines of Peru, massive geoglyphs only visible from high altitude, include perfect geometric patterns and depictions of animals that don't exist in South America, but do exist in Atlantis's proposed location. Carbon dating of underwater structures near Japan, India, Cuba, and the Bahamas consistently returns dates of 10,000 to 12,000 years ago, exactly when Plato claimed Atlantis existed and was destroyed. How did ancient builders encode knowledge of astronomical cycles that take 26,000 years to complete, unless they inherited this wisdom from an earlier civilization? Underwater structures off Japan's coast, dated to over 10,000 years old, match Plato's descriptions of Atlantean architecture with terrifying accuracy, including specific measurements and architectural features. Modern genetic studies reveal unexplained genetic bottlenecks and population collapses that align perfectly with the proposed date of Atlantis's destruction. Ancient skulls show evidence of sophisticated brain surgery, with survival rates exceeding those of similar procedures performed in the 19th century, thousands of years before such medical knowledge supposedly existed. Pyramids around the world are arranged in a precise geometric pattern that maps important energy points on Earth's surface. Ancient texts from India, Egypt, Sumer, and Mesoamerica describe advanced technologies, including aircraft, energy weapons, and genetic engineering, dismissed as myth despite detailed technical specifications. Secret societies throughout history have preserved knowledge of Atlantis through hidden symbols in art, architecture, and literature. Over 15 million square miles of habitable land has been submerged since the last ice age, enough territory to hide entire advanced civilizations beneath our oceans, exactly where Plato said we would find them. Ancient stone structures show evidence of machine tooling that wasn't possible with known ancient technology. A vast network of underground tunnels connects ancient sites across multiple continents, some extending for hundreds of miles with perfect engineering and unknown construction methods that defy conventional archaeological explanation. The truth about our past isn't just hidden underwater. It's hiding in plain sight, deliberately misinterpreted and mislabeled. What if Atlantis wasn't just an advanced technological civilization, but one that had achieved a harmonious balance between technology and spiritual wisdom, knowledge that could transform our troubled world today? The evidence is mounting. The truth is surfacing. The question is, are you ready to see it? Comment what you think happened to Atlantis and what other impossible ancient mysteries deserve a closer look. The greatest cover-up in history is unraveling.